so that we can keep them safe and that we provide whatever, and I'm going to say whatever support and guidance that they need in order to become the products that God has designed for them to be.
All right.
Come on. That's some mentors that we need, you know. So many people put so much onus on professional experience, and but really it's just life experience that has value. And if your grandfather passed something on to you, he may not have been college educated, but he didn't have to be, because you better believe whatever he say is going to be true. and I found that out several times, and my grandfather told me something, and lo and behold, it didn't hit me when they told me, but it hit me when that whatever they told me was happening to me. And at that point, my eyes were open.
All right. Come on, Todd, jump in.
What's the statute of limitation, Brother Sylvester, as far as corporal punishment? Nah, I'm just messing with you, man. Nah, man. So I learned a long time ago, man, what neighborhood watch was. You know, me and my friends, we going around in our neighborhood, on our block, actually, letting the air out of people's tires, right? And I thought I had got away with it, man, right? Then you hear that knock on the door on the front porch, right? Because back in the day, man, people didn't usually go to your front porch when they knocked on the door. They went to the side door, right? So somebody came to the front porch. It was like official business, right? So when the neighbor comes to the front porch, it's like, oh, snap, somebody in trouble. And you know they ran it like,
oh yeah,
so-and-so was outside with so-and-so letting air out people's tires, right? and you know what happened after that. Let me just say it that way, right?
There you go. And
I'm thinking I'm going to get away because we get ready to go on vacation like at midnight. I still got it. You see what I'm saying? I still got it. But the bigger thing was not necessarily like watching and ensuring my safety. It was like, this is what we value, right? I might not even like the person who air you letting out the tire of, right? But you're not gonna do that on this block. You see what I'm saying? Because one, that ain't gonna represent us, and then two, your parents raised you better than that. I know that, right? And so that person may never have talked to my parent again, but that day they upheld what was valued on that block.
There you go.
And there was a level of truth that came out then, because during that time when an adult said something to another adult about a child, there was a validity that came with that adult statement.
There you go.
It came almost like with the power of an amen. If we was in church somewhere, you know, it came with it. It just simply because they took the time to come over there and to tell whatever was going on, there was something to it. And so let me ask, so we know that one of the reasons why their eyes were open was there was a safety factor. All right, there was a safety factor that we know that they took into consideration. But there was another factor that they were always having eyes on us. What would be something else? Why it would be important to have eyes on somebody who just opened them?
Yeah. You know, I hate to keep jumping in on this, but I want to make sure that we recognize what Todd said and what's the statute of limitation on something that you do wrong, right? Because when you, as people say, when you were raised right, you still have this moral compass. You still have this consciousness that you want to do the right thing because you want to make those people in your family, in your neighborhood, you want to make those people proud. And so I believe that there's a core value associated with wanting to do right for the right reasons, but also recognizing that while it could be one person's air getting let out their tires today, it could be somebody else, or it could be my own tires tomorrow, right? So I want to tell a story about, I was hanging out with my cousins and we were trying to go roller skating at Bunch School. And on this particular day, I had asked my mom if I could stay the night at my auntie's house so I can go roller skating because she lived right across the street from Bunch School. And so with my aunt, when I asked her, she said, no, you can't go. So I went right around the corner, asked my mother if I can go roller skating, and my mother said, yeah. So I, thinking that I beat the system, I go to roller skating, go back to my aunt's house and afterwards. And then when I got home, you already know what happened. Because they said, you asked her, you asked your aunt, she told you no, but that wasn't good enough. You wanted to get what you wanted to get out of this whole thing. So then you go to the person that's going to give you the answer that you want. And so it wasn't about roller skating because I could still came back home that night and nothing happened, but it was the principle of me going to one person and not getting what I want and then going to somebody else. And I've never forgotten that lesson, right? And so the lesson that I learned is when one of your elders tell you yes or no, that's the answer that you're going to stay with, whether you like it or not.
That's good.
So I'm gonna jump in. What you was talking about, Patrick, as far as safety or not having your eyes open. I think one of the urban legends we grew up with in 05. Everybody remember Captain Bubblegum?
Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
He coming to get you.
He coming to get you, right?
Oh yeah.
And so our parents, man, they shared that story with us, man, to help us recognize, be aware of strangers.
Mm-hmm.
Be aware of strangers, right?
Mm-hmm.
And don't go talking to nobody that you don't know. And don't take nothing from nobody that you don't know.
That's right.
You see what I'm saying? And so I just think we didn't have our eyes open, man. You know what I'm saying? We didn't know right from wrong. We didn't know what was safe, unsafe. But what they were saying is, you ain't got to know. Like you said, we going to take care of you until you get to the point where your eyes are open.
There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Well, see, back then, too, we had more freedom to do different things than the kids these days do. Most of the kids now are really into video games or doing stuff in the house. They're not as outdoorsy as we were. So I think because of that, we were at more danger because people could get you and you come up missing or something. And they were protecting us from that.
True. So I want to go back to one of the ones when you say they don't have their eyes open, and the word that I get is that we were ambivalent. We didn't know the difference between the two. We didn't understand that there was a danger between my house on this side of the street and the house that was on the other side of the street, right? We didn't realize that the danger was the street. It wasn't the house on this side or the other side. It was the way that you needed to navigate going across. And at a certain age, you were too ambivalent for me to trust you with even going across a street that you actually can see. How many steps would it really take for you to get across that street? But they knew that our eyes weren't open enough or recognizable enough that we would have the ability to step in front of a moving vehicle.
Or I roll with ambivalent, but our parents, man, they didn't know what ambivalent was. Patrick, they was like, you got a hard head. You know what they said? A hard head make a what?
Soft
head.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on, man.
There you go.
So I hear you when you say ambivalent, but I think my parents was like, you just hard-headed. I ain't told you what to do. Don't do it. You did it. That's what you get.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing of it is that, so we were hard-headed. Or I'm going to even tell you that I wasn't hard-headed. I just didn't understand the danger. I just didn't understand the danger from one side of the street to the other. I didn't understand what happened around the block. I remember one time after school, we messed around.